In the legendary words of Raymond Yapelo, Zulufek, the reason I'm saying that is because it's happening in France. I'm talking about nothing else except the Rugby World Cup. For sure, at this point, you must have enjoyed. Last name ever. First name greatest. I'm Big Zo P. You know how it is, man. We are back at it. It's Sporting 101. Thank you so much for making your time and watching us, because a whole lot of conversation we're going to have on the show. We're going to talk pool table. We're going to talk the Kalema Jaweta tournament out in Tabanchu. There's a lot that we're going to talk about. But just before we jump into all of that and our guest for today, let's just give a glimpse of what happened this past weekend, right? As far as the World Cup is concerned. Now, the first thing is, most South Africans are excited right now because one of our star players, that is Andre Pollard, is back in the squad. Now, this means we've got somebody who's more consistent when it comes to his kicking game. But here's the thing. We also played a game against Romania where we beat them by 71-0, right? The good thing about this game, it proves that South African defense is very strong. Why am I saying that? When we played against Scotland, they haven't scored a try. We haven't had a try go past our defense lines. They only scored 3 points, which was a penalty. Now, this means we are good, but the truth is we are definitely going to be tested against Ireland this coming Saturday. Are we ready for that? But also, in another news, it's hectic for teams like Australia. People are wondering what's going on because Australia lost against Fiji. Fiji shocking the world, beating Australia by 22 to 15 points this past weekend. Let me tell you, I didn't see that one coming, right? But Fiji is getting somewhere. But the big question is Australian type of rugby dropping? Is the standard dropping, or are they building? Because most of their squad is made up of young players. However, let's look into how this past weekend all the teams played. Let's start with the hosts, France. Last week, Thursday, they beat Uruguay by 27-12. And we also saw New Zealand thrashing Namibia there by 71-3, expected, of course. And on Saturday, we saw Ireland beating Tonga by 59-16, while Wales beat Portugal by 28-8. And Samoa surprising Chile by 43-10. I don't know if I should say surprising them, but if you're a rugby head, you know it was most likely to happen. Like I said earlier, South Africa beating Romania by 76-0, while Australia was edged by Fiji 22-15. England continue their winning streak by beating Japan by 34-12. But one thing we find that is common in this World Cup, the obvious teams that we expect to top groups are doing exactly what we expect. But the most exciting groups has to be Pool A and Pool B, where the big battle is, would France avoid playing against South Africa and topping the group? Or would South Africa avoid playing New Zealand and topping the group? Or Ireland is not even looking to face either of the two. They're weighing their options. The third round is definitely going to be exciting. But one thing for sure, South Africa has not yet been tested. Come this weekend, come this Saturday, when number one team in the world, according to rankings, number one team in the world takes on number two. Ireland are at the top at the moment. They'll take on South Africa, who are second, though they are defending champions. But it's going to be quite exciting because for us, this is going to be a real test. For sure, we're going to be tested. And this is going to be one of those exciting games because now we're going to start to see who's most likely going to face who in the quarterfinals. Are you that South African that says, I'd rather not face New Zealand in the quarterfinals? I'd rather face France? Or I'd rather not face France. I'd rather face New Zealand. Because like we always say, when South Africa and New Zealand play, it's like the Soweto derby. Form is not important. Nothing else is important. It's bragging rights. But quarterfinals are knockout stages. So you wouldn't want to, you don't want the Springboks to be knocked out in the early stages of the tournament. Because tell you what, if we were to have a final with South Africa and New Zealand, on that day, the world would be on its feet, I meant. But let's do this. Let's go to a break. When we come back from the break, I'm definitely having a chat with two of my guests, Tlale Majaweta, as well as El Presidente, the president of Pool Table. This man is traveling the world, man, because of Pool Table. The other man is making sure that teams win 100,000 in the dusty streets of Tabanchu. Stay tuned. We come.
Meet my dad. Mzala addiction is doing lockdown things now. So grumpy in the morning.
Ala madata.
And the moody.
Ha, you are sexing.
But he will do anything. I mean, any big job for Ramakwen. Once the pocket is full, treat to my friend for it.
Hey, ule data go. Hey, yeah.
Because you know why?
Ala matata.
I know what you were thinking. Data. Hey. Matata. FS Online. Wherever you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Majita number one, welcome back. This is Free State Online channel. I'm Pixel P, the greatest. And you know, when I'm on a show, 90% chance is that we're talking nothing but sports. Nothing but something that excites the world to a point where, hey, people can even go as far as fighting. Eh? Earlier on, we were having an argument with someone about Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. I wonder how long is that argument going to go? I don't even want to touch on it anymore. But without saying a lot, I promised you guests in the studio, and I told you one is doing a very big tournament in Tabanchu. The progress of this tournament is amazing. That's what I love to see, you know, particularly for Kasi talent. Having options to get to showcase their talent, you know. It's very important that we also celebrate people that bring those kind of opportunities to our communities. And the other one is doing something that you would never thought a man can travel the world with, playing a pool table. And some of you are really good. Maybe it's a good place where I can ask him, good evening and welcome to Free State Online channel. Kimnati, Khotman, Ekibon 100,000. Yo, I'm like, I Khotman Walana.
I promise you before, I promise you.
Barumnati, otherwise.
Hi, you sharp. Thanks for having me.
El Presidente. Hey, utse ke bona di cup mo ke bona mabanda mo kore motho mo ke gola hala bona ke be ga ke go setsa la resli sel table
Not I'm not Braga, man. Thanks for this opportunity. I feel like I'm at home, you know, the way you guys are warmly welcoming us. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Nah, for sure. Listen, I want to start with you in this conversation because yours is a bit interesting. It's something that is in plain sight, but people usually when they participate in it, they don't think, you know, it can take you any far, you know. It's a pool table. Maybe just Nuka. We've got different names for it, you know. Where did the love for this game start for you, and how did you end up playing professional pool table, if I may call it that way?
Yeah, you know, my brother, I played this game socially from 1998. I was in matric, you know, and then 1999 it was my first year at the college. So we used to have all the time, because you'd attend classes maybe 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and you have all the spare time in your hands. So there was a place called Costa Rama back in the days, or the Greek Connections. Yeah. So I would go there and watch like movies, and there were a lot of pool tables, and there were a lot of great guys playing pool. So I was there watching them, and then somehow I tried to play some of them, and I realized, no, I don't stand a chance, you know. But the passion started to grow up there. and some of the guys recruited me. The person who recruited me in this game, he's no more. His name is Jerry Madieheng. He's the first black person to become the Free State pool champion. So he recruited me and trained me. Yes, I was coached by various people, many people. So, but the person who recruited me was Jerry Madieheng in the game. So 1999, that's when I was starting to practice. And the year 2000, I turned professional. I joined the league, like a professional league. And then first year, the same year, I won the Free State Under 23 title. So, yeah, I never looked back.
So basically, there's a structure. There's a more organized structure of this game, because usually you think there's no structure because you don't usually get to see people play in a more structured environment when they play the pool table. So what you're basically saying is there's actually a structure or a governing body of pool table where you can just go through the process. You are mentioning under 23. I'm actually shocked. Or you even have under 23s.
No, most definitely. We have the structures from the district level to the provincial level and the national level and even internationally. So in South Africa here, we are having a structure called South African Black Ball Federation. It's for the black ball, and then there's another structure called 8-ball structure, like PSA Pool South Africa, and then you got the snooker. So snooker, it's called SAPSA. That's the name of the structure. Snooker is a big table. Snooker is a game whereby you play with points, and then you got pool. Pool is a small table, the one that you find in the bars or the taverns most of the time. So on that table, you can play 2 rules, which is black ball or 8-ball rules. So you find structures everywhere, and those structures are actually affiliated under the government structure or SASCOC, let me call it, that's the National Olympic Committee. So if you are a professional, let's say for instance, you are going to overseas, you have to apply for the colors official, just like anybody else, like a cricket player, an athlete, like a rugby player, they got the Protea on their chest.
Sure.
They got it from SASCOC. That's our National Olympic Committee.
Listen, I like the fact that you differentiated, which is what I wanted to go to. But since you mentioned it, that there's a snooker, there's a pool. So my first question is, which one do you play? Do you play both of them? Which one is more into the organized body? And two, just for someone who's watching and thinking they are playing pool the right way, what are differences that you find kokasi when the pool is played, even when you are playing professional?
All right, so what's happening is snooker, like I said, it's a big table. All of them, the 3 that I mentioned, they are recognized and they are professional. However, they've got different federations. So when they come together, they form what we call Q sport. It's a Q sport because we play with a cue or a stick.
Sure.
So they are a Q sport. But however, there's a snooker, there's pool, and all that. So now, what differentiates us professionals with the guys from Kasi is the rules. Number one, in Kasi, the rules, it's anything that can come up of your head. Like we agree. You understand? But professionally, you don't agree. The rules are written, you find them there. And professionally, there's referees that are there. And professionally, you have to dress proper. You can't play with the jean. No, you can't play with the jean. You understand? You have to play with the formal clothes or casual clothes, but you can't play with a round neck shirt or something like that. You can't play with your head on. You have to be on a golf shirt or a formal shirt. You know, sometimes you see them on TV with the bow ties, you know. So it's a very professional sport. It's a gentleman's sport. That's a big difference. And you can't play it while you're drinking professionally. No, you can't do that professionally. They will suspend you, they will ban you. There's an organization called WADA.
Yeah.
They test you, your blood.
So, ba test before
they test your blood if you have to go and play for the province or nationally. And if anything is in there, it's a problem. So you have to be sober.
Okay. Let's hold it there. I want to jump into my next guest. Eish, I'm getting excited. Imagine, ona no mombaro koti habu jupile. So, o career e fella raka sida. Tlale, damn, like this something that's super exciting. Yeah, 100s go money, and I've seen you've got new partners now. The team is already tough man Morocco. So let's about 2 chacharach. From the Kasi World Cup that we know from the past years to the one that we're about to see this year. ke ding tse fetwileng da tse le reng motho a tlo tla itlo ba part ya the tournament, whether ka team ya hae a tlo dlala or you know a tla tlo supporta the tournament, ke eng di changes tse re tlo di bona tse ntjha?
Bigzo, if you ka hopola hantle hore past 2 years re startile re hosta 16 team, then last year that's when I say I'm going for 32 teams. And remember, I negotiated 32 teams without any sponsor. I was doing everything from my pocket. So last year, I hosted a successful. A first team, we needed 50K. Yeah. So this year, Karen Norman, because Nagibona team city thing the buyer. So I play for this year. Get first prize for my Jita 100K, and get elderly ladies need netball. So what's new? Go delay netball, and from 50,000 I make it 100K, and already now kinal teams say 2 tsetwang Limpopo, 2 from Joburg, kinal 1 from Lesotho, kinal 1 from Northern Cape. So it's a proper World Cup now.
Hey, Limpopo. Hey, you're not sure. But worldwide, we are. In fact, let me put it this way: in South Africa, I think the whole atmosphere, we have that World Cup vibe. If you think about it, because we just hosted a netball World Cup. Right now, rugby. It's a cricket. Is going to jump into another World Cup. So we are in a year of World Cups, if you look at it. And you decided to add netball. The ladies, in most cases, the tournament in the ladies are also a part of that. What made you decide, or this year, lahlela bo usika netball?
I register at Talamajaza Foundation. It's only based on soccer. Because I mean, not everyone are done soccer or whatever. Every year when we host, we add a sporting code, a different sporting code. So initially, we ladies soccer, but they can't play Majida Badale soccer because we don't have facilities. So we decided, because in the World Cup, everyone in the mood we decided, you know what, netball. Then next year, I a sporting code thing. So initially, but the end goal, we must have our own facility. It accommodate all sporting code. Yes.
So netball, Rewina on that side because it's new. I'm like, hey, when I lose my Cheville, hey, what to the 100,000? And because let's be honest, sometimes is what you give that excites a talent that's sleeping. They're thinking, I want an opportunity, and they realize there's an opportunity. And what is amazing now when it comes to netball, which is something that I love so much, is that now Free State is an elite team in professional netball. I was at Sanalipil where we only had the Crinums. Now it's an elite Sono Blome as well. They're there. So it means the opportunity for these young ladies to also play professional. They expand. Diba. So what are the prizes that are there?
Like we were do first time. So first prize here ladies 30K, then the second maka 20, then the third club 10. For start, it's like Majita. Was Opola Majita. There was a time making 10,000 from my pocket to say, guys, play for free. so yeah, whole. So sure. Maybe if you want the team thing, then we can next year surprise
so far honale team tse di
team 5 it's a netball it's already experienced.
How many in total are you going to do?
To be honest, I cannot a number because I don't even know how many teams to expect.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. I'm telling you to lead netball teams. And here's a guy that time December everyone go high or whatever. So even if you can have 10, 15, then it'll
yeah. Otse la camera lady da o bahale ka netball na bapala ka sia o tla kopanya squad and you know in short. so that's why I'm asking. But one important question that I shouldn't let slide. How much it organize a tournament? Right, but there's an affiliation fee. So without a doubt, it's always a question of how much. So you mentioned earlier, you said affiliation. I mean, how Kala tournament? You know, Majita Batla for free for 10K without an affiliation. Obviously, now there is an affiliation, right? For Bo OC Ababatla getting into the tournament, what's the affiliation?
1,000 rand for Oisu Kenamo. Officials give arrangement installment. You can pay it with installment.
Yeah.
From yeah.
Kabaji take a show for like a first come first. But listen, we're gonna go drink some water because listen, when we come back, I wanna talk other things into what these two men are doing, right? This man, the other one is I've kept mentioning worldwide, the world. They were in Cape Town with the Free State team, and we want to touch on that as well. And I can tell you, we also want to touch on the challenges of sponsorship to both of them, because it's a big issue in the Free State where there's great initiatives, but sponsorship is a problem. But let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to touch on those nitty-gritties.
Ayo, this is equivalent Sputnik Marukin, and we are behind the scenes of Paco's show with Rugby. Don't forget, every Sunday at 6 o'clock, FS Online, baby. We're bringing you the nice interviews, funny, relaxed, family orientated. So come and join us, because me, Uncle is here, baby. See you there, FS Online, this Sunday. Eyamat, Ika. Ayo, this is equivalent Sputnik Marukin, and we are behind the scenes of Paco's show with Rugby. Don't forget, every Sunday at 6 o'clock, FS Online, baby. We're bringing you the nice interviews, funny, relaxed, family orientated. So come and join us, because me, Uncle is here, baby. See you there, FS Online, this Sunday. Meet my data. Mzala addiction is doing lockdown things ngai. So grumpy in the morning.
Alamadata.
And the multi.
Ha, you are sexing.
But he will do anything. I mean, any big job for Ramakwen. Once the pocket is full, straight to my friend for it.
Hey, ule data go. Hey, yeah.
Because you know why?
Alamadata.
I know what you were thinking. Data. Hey, matata. FS Online, wherever you are.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, Majita number one, we are back at it. We're still having a conversation. El Presidente, the man famously known for, a sport that is popular ko kasi for gamble. Fast. 20 randa yana. Yazkola na fitla kasi, and then by itepamba ya udimo jalo. How can a place called Parliament Moblom? You know what's going on there. Whatever it's also Sarah, but hey, and we also have Tlale Majaweta, a man that brought an exciting tournament in Tawanj. Hey, I remember the story di Kola. Hey, the man was to compete in the tournament. Hey, thing. With Ala Marakiri Kerite, I give out the soul. El Presidente,
My brother.
just recently, you and your team, you were in Cape Town. Right? Just give our viewers a bit of an idea that what was going on in Cape Town.
Yeah, no, my brother, every year we host a tournament called National Championships. All the provinces in South Africa, they send their various teams from under 18, under 23, men, ladies, and so on and on, masters, and yeah. So the idea of the National Championships is to get strong players that will be able to form the squad for South Africa.
Okay.
And then those squads can be sent internationally. And then at the very same time, you'll have teams playing against each other, whereby individuals are ranked, and then you'll have the knockout, whereby now there are titles on the line. We need one champion for under 23 or under 18 for men, for ladies, But then in terms of the team, we are ranked. Number 1 to number 5, they form a team.
Okay.
Number 6 to number 10, they can form a second team. But most of the time, we only take 5 players per category, then send them overseas, yeah.
So how did you do as the Free State?
The Free State, for the first time in the history, my team, the senior squad, we won the national championship. For the first time. Free State has never done that before. It has been about Gauteng, KZN, and Western Cape all the time.
Yeah.
So we won it this year. We were well prepared. Previously, we have been winning the individuals, or should I say the singles competitions. Yes, we got South African champions from here. I'm one of them. But this time, we won as a team. So Free State really, really was on the map, yeah.
In terms of tournaments abroad, earlier on we spoke about the nations team, the nations tournament, the Nations Cup, and also there will be the World Cup coming. So in terms of our players from the Free State, how many are we most likely to see participate in those tournaments that we spoke about?
This year, I would say I'm the only one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Who would be going overseas as a player. Last year, we had about 6 players into different teams. So this year, it's only myself who made a cut.
Yeah. Tlale, I'm coming back to you. Jaga, when you started Nedibuwa, but you spoke about getting, starting from your own pocket. So right now you went to 100K. I know so finally Kamaroko. Let's talk about the support now. Is the support pouring in terms of sponsorship? And El President, I also want to come back to you in terms of support as well, particularly sponsorships, because I've seen a culture in the Free State where actually sports is not really that sponsored, man. By Kampaba sponsor event there's group and I can see but in terms of sponsorships, are you getting any so far?
Yes, last year Department of Sports they come on board. This year I'm still waiting to hear from them. Are they coming on board or what? But in private sectors they are coming, but there's a lot of disagreements between me and them, because when they see you on TV doing this, they just want to sell their product just for free. So hopefully they'll come. Sponsors will come because the tournament is there. It's out there. So I think things are more better than the past years.
I saw there's an accommodation sponsorship. That's really big. You know, in the past, but how about that tournament in like one about ba hira mkhukhu ha mentso ha kimane or whatever jitaba go betse ka mkhukhu, you know, just to come and play in a soccer tournament. But I know with you now, there's a sponsorship for accommodation for teams that come outside the Free State.
Yes, o tla gopola college ele ya Thabanzo zone 1 e pela ka strateng sa go haya kere. So I ke approach to say, man, hey, re na le challenge ya sponsor ya ntwa accommodation, because building ke dutse fela ha e sebediswa etseng, then it tla vandaliziwa. So guys, ke pa limpeng a building, I'll take care of the building in terms of security or whatever. I'll even insure the building for that period for an area. So baba I no problem if it to say nka a building from December till end of your tournament. So it's for free. That's why I can make you about teams akante. So free accommodation at team.
So in the past, have you had teams that like let's say in particular last year when you introduced the whole idea of 32 teams?
I had one team from Joburg, but along the way because of traveling or whatever, they decided to pull out. So only teams that I have, it was only Bloemfontein and Lady Brand. So now from Limpopo, 2 teams already affiliated with full price.
Last year was not team from Butare.
Okay, in Butare, is not far. Come on.
I also get to Bus Town and that I want to be represented.
No, actually, Kasi World Cup, the teams they dominate and get up to be honest.
Yeah.
And of which it's a problem for. It's not a problem, but I expect because Thabanzo teams at Thabanzo dikla dominate. But if I can tell you, we only have one team from teams affiliated in Thabanzo. So teams are on Thabanzo and I don't tell you re ratan to the last minutes, and I'm sorry to say that, but Thabanzo we complain for everything. Maybe but I used to go back in for free, so maybe but for free.
President, in terms of sponsorship, El Presidente, I can imagine the cost that comes with this. Travel, Molian thing, you have to be accommodated as well, you have to eat, you know, and now that you've mentioned, there are tournaments which you'll be playing abroad. It costs to fly, get there, be accommodated. In terms of sponsorships, is it easy? Is it difficult?
Yeah, my brother, you know, it's been 20 years now. Actually, over 20 years, I played the game, and all the time, it has been at our own cost. You know, it is very painful because when we win, we bring the glory home. You understand? And everybody become excited about your victory. The glory is there for the province, you understand, but the province never really looked after us. You know, at some point, I felt like we are the forgotten champions because Pool is I don't know if you are aware about this. We have produced world champions from Bloemfontein. World, I'm not talking about a national championship, champions. You know, we had boys that went and won the World Cup. One of them is Aiden Joseph. Another one is Regan Ailey. They've done well. You know, so we have been struggling. Up until this year, I get a call from the office of the MEC, Mahase, the MEC of Sports, that who would love to work with you. And honestly, we start to see the changes. And I hope for the best going forward, but we've been struggling all along. We've been writing proposals to government, private sector, and yeah, things are starting to change now because when government comes in, private sector also toe the line. You see? That's how it is, because they always want to ask, are you guys accredited? Are you guys approved? Are you guys authorized? Are you guys recognized? You know, all these languages, you know. But now that there's government behind us, definitely there is a light.
Listen, you know, for some odd reason, the first time that I say this, for some odd reason, I wanted to quit this whole sportscasting thing, you know, because of the drag in certain issues and how things are done, right? But it's always stories of hope. like you are sharing now, that keeps the fire burning for me, and to say, finally, let me go back and do this thing once again, because I want that Eden Joseph to be known, right? The media, as the media sometimes, we don't play our part. Because sometimes you can get a sponsor from me as a sportscaster talking about your story, and some company realizes, oh, there's this person doing this. You understand? Also, the media doesn't play its role. Talking about that, how much coverage are you guys getting in terms of this sport that you're doing, particularly from the Free State? Are you getting, for you, would you say you're getting enough coverage? For you, would you say, you guys would call on, even if you don't mention the media houses that, come and work with you guys, but I believe there's a level of contribution that we must put on as well.
At the moment, we are getting a little bit of coverage, like I said, since the government come on board. However, it's very painful because there's a lot that I wanted to speak about the sport. That had we had the cover, people would have known that pool is a beautiful sport, but it's dangerous. I lost most of my friends. They've been shot, they've been stabbed. Professional players now, because they don't get any sponsorships or they don't get anything, but they end up going in the wrong places to gamble, like you were saying, playing for money.
Yeah.
And most of them lost their lives. Personally, myself, last year, I was pointed with a firearm and robbed about 20,000 rand in Johannesburg, Tembisa. So it happens a lot, and I was very lucky, but other people are not. So we need media to write our stories, and I'll be glad that if one day we can unpack what you are going through as the pool players, because it's bad.
Tlale, any form of coverage is local media houses making sure that they're getting the tournament out there, because it's also an issue. I was excited. I saw there's someone that started like a page where they update ABC Motsepe League fixtures and stuff, and I was like, finally, if you want to see how teams played, you can go somewhere and just literally check. But in the past, we didn't have that. You are dependent on like Facebook groups, and then you want to check what people are saying about teams in Kwakwa, and then you try to call the right people, but the right people are not answering calls, But are you getting that coverage? Would you say it's enough, or would you just say, listen, Free State Media, let's get our socks up?
From last year, let me take it from last year. That's when I started to get enough coverage, because I remember you guys were there, LCD, Super Sports, SABC, TV. So for coverage, I can't complain. I'm getting it coverage.
That's really dope. I mean, it's something we must really think about, because I can tell you now, El President, give someone at home an idea as to when we say you're going abroad to play. In which countries will you be going to play and showcase this talent that you have?
Yeah, in March we are going to England. It is the Nations Cup that will be playing in England, and November we are going to Malta. It is the World Cup. However, there are other tournaments coming, like African tournaments in between. So I'm not aware who's hosting what, but I'm sure about those two. The African Nations Cup, the Nations Cup is in England in March, and then next year, November, it's Malta for the World Cup. That's where everyone wants to be.
I remember, if it's earlier this year. I remember you came with a guy who was just from England as well. I think we were in Kwakwa. You remember when I did that interview? We were in Kwakwa. Yes. I remember he was also from England. So I see England is a big deal when it comes to this game of yours.
Yeah, snooker was originated in England by Queen Elizabeth back in the days. If you remember the Queen Mary of Scotland, when she passed on, when she was executed, when her head was cut off, she was wrapped with a cloth of her own pool table. That's how serious they take the table that side. So that's where it originates. That's why most of the tournaments are in England. Yes.
Listen, I want these two gents to drink some water because we're going to jump into the last piece of it. Because I want Tlale to give us details as far as
how can people affiliate and the numbers and everything. And also, FS Online channel has got an amazing app. I want to tell you about that, but when we come back from the break.
Ayo, this is Itumela and Sputnik Marupin, and we are behind the scenes of Patko's show with Rugby. Don't forget, every Sunday at 6 o'clock, FS Online, baby. We're bringing you the nice interviews, funny, relaxed, family-orientated. So come and join us, because me, Uncle is here, baby. See you there, FS Online, this Sunday. Eyamat, Ika. Ayo, this is Itumela and Sputnik Marupin, and we are behind the scenes of Patko's show with Rugby. Don't forget, every Sunday at 6 o'clock.
Ayoba, we are back for sure. We're gonna wrap it up, and I said if you're looking forward to participate in this tournament that will be happening in Tabanchu from the 15th of December to the 30th of December, and you just want to get the information. How do you do it? How do you get it? How do you be part of this? Where can you follow on social media? Because we are social media people right now. It's about that time for you to take your pen and paper and start writing or screen record, as a matter of fact. Screen record. Tlale, as we close real quick, for people that want to be part, already there are teams from Limpopo, teams from Gauteng, from people that want to be part of the tournament. And the ladies, of course, who most probably didn't know that there's a tournament where they can win 30K, bruh. In December, and this money can come in handy for the ladies in January. Those kids, school things are expensive, but we can split. Give society, society. How can they be in contact?
Okay, so before you find out number, just for a few seconds, on top of the prices for Majita, Renale price for coach of the tournament. Kifana got 2K for top goal scorer, 3,000 goalkeeper of the tournament, 2K. Yeah. So the number for over part of the tournament, batla phone na Ben 10, number 081 371 3779. Then ba phone na location on 071 7494 639. Ya WhatsApp ya location ki 078 0288 088 as 288 268.
Okay,
078 0288 268.
Nah, that's for sure. El Presidente, there's a kid out there who says, I wanna go professional too. I like this whole idea. I love this game, but I don't wanna play it where my life is endangered, like you said earlier on. I don't wanna play it where I don't know where to go. What will be your final remarks in trying to make sure that this kid is directed the right way?
What we are busy doing now is we are going to schools. We are starting the game in the schools. We have spoken to MEC Magalo from education and with the MEC Dimagato. So we're going to combine the efforts to make sure that there's a school league. However, at the moment, I can give out my numbers, which are 081 466 7661. 081 466 7661. We are very, very happy and glad when the young ones are coming into the sport.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming through and hanging with us today and giving us this whole conversation. One thing about this is stories of hope, right? I can tell you now, 50, 100 years from now, we won't be here. There will be different generations, but history will be definitely written that someone in Tabanchu came up with a soccer tournament and who will know, this would be Philly's Games of Tabanchu, a tournament that goes on for years and years. Look at the Comrades Marathon now. Probably when they started, they wouldn't have thought it would have go so long. You know, every South African now wants to run the Comrades. Lanka khutla halfway, it's fine, but they want to be a part of it. True. You know, there's probably a kid or kids out there, or even elders out there, who are going to look at you, El President, and say, I started playing this game because of El Presidente. Thank you so much for the work that you guys are doing. You know, all the best going forward.
Thank you very much, my brother.
And on that note, I can never walk away from a microphone without saying this. To whom much is given, much is expected. To whom much is expected, much is required. Every champion that is a champion today was once a contender who refused to give up. And Big P the greatest. God willing, I'll see you next time. Ayob.
Thank you. Sure.